Hi everyone, it's Monday. Welcome back to the music room. I'm sitting on the floor today because I wanted to show you my pedal setup, and I've left it set up from my online streaming gig last night, which I hope some of you were able to enjoy. For me, it was super fun to do a streaming online gig through the DeBarras website. DeBarras is a place I play gigs all the time, so it was cool to be able to do one online and see loads and loads of people tuning in from all around the world, and like popping up and doing comments. And afterwards I like sat down with a glass of wine and read like something like 300 comments, and it was super cool to see that everyone was discussing the music and chatting as if they were at the bar having a drink. But actually it worked perfectly because it was very quiet for me. There was no background chat, so there was no heckling. And I was just on the phone to my friend Kevin McNally, who's doing an online gig in DeBarras website tomorrow night, so check that one out, 9 o'clock, 9:30 maybe, 9:30. We were talking about how to get the audio right, and yeah, I think the sound is a really important thing for online gigs. So what I ended up doing was sending everything through my analog desk, making a mix, like my piano was mic'd and my voice was mic'd, and my violin through the pedals here that I'm going to show you in a minute, and then sending it all that mix to this little yoke that I got for like $5 in Canada called an iRig, and it just goes straight into the iPhone headphone jack, and that's all the nice audio going in, straight in, beautiful audio, not just the camera audio. So that was cool. So yeah, definitely going to do another online gig, so let me know, you guys, if you want to see one. Maybe I could just run it on my own Facebook or something. Send me some comments. So today a few people last night were commenting like, wow, it sounds like a whole orchestra in the room and there's only one of you. So this is my orchestra, which is my pedal board, and I've collected over the years, like I've been doing live violin processing and looping over the years, like 10 or 15 years. I've done it often through the laptop, and for years I had this whole complicated laptop set up on stage, and then I kind of found that it created a sort of weird latent anxiety in me because I was never sure whether the laptop was going to just go on shut down or something while I was playing. So I ended up building a new simple kind of setup, but with just analog standalone pedals that just do one thing and then you don't worry about them too much, and I find it much more relaxing. So what I was doing was sending the violin through a really nice reverb, which is on this beautiful pedal, which I might show you tomorrow. Very, very beautiful pedal which does lots and lots of amazing sounds. It actually has an infinite reverb. In the manual it says it will just continue to reverberate until the end of electricity. Who knows when that will be? Hopefully not too soon. And this one here, this big one with the flashing colourful lights, is a 2-channel stereo looper by Electro Harmonics, which means I can create loops of violin and loops more of violin and bring them in and out at different times and have 2 different layers going. So that's a little bit more complicated, which we'll talk about again. But for anyone who's interested in starting to do looping, especially if you're a violin player, because loads of people do it on guitar and they just go bong jiggy jiggy bong jiggy jiggy and then loop that and then, you know, blah blah blah. But for the violin it creates an amazing thing because you can just be like an orchestra. You could create tons and tons of harmonies and lines that keep sailing over each other, which is super good. And this is like a really simple way to start. It's the tiniest little pedal. It's like as big as my nose, and it's called a TC Electronic Ditto. It just has one knob, which is volume of the loop, and one button. When you press it, it starts to record, and when you hit it again, it starts to roll around looping, and when you hit it again, it goes red, and it means you can layer on top. If you hit it twice really quickly, it stops, and if you hold it down, it clears it. So like everything just on that one little thing. So what I'll do is I'll plug it in and I'll play you a song showing you how this looping thing works. So what we'll do is, oh, Jesus. plug that one in there. Let's get rid of this one. This is the big mama. I might do another day. Power it up. Oh, it's flashing. That means it already has a loop in it.
A rally in Cincinnati hours after he announced new tariffs.
A short time ago,
until
talks
such
between
time
leaders in Northern Ireland
as
and the
there
British
is a
Prime Minister
deal.
Boris Johnson.
I want to clear that. That was a Donald Trump on my loop pedal. I made a weird mashup of him and then played it in the big concert, just for fun. Now let's see if this is going to work then. So this needs plugging in. That goes in there. And there's my reverb, so I've got like this reverby thing as well. I'll show you how it can go forever. It's really nice. You turn that up. It's always good to have a little bit of reverb on the violin, otherwise it sounds very dry and dusty. You need a pickup, so I've got this bridge pickup called a Bradivarius. It's not a Stradivarius, it's a Bradivarius. And I'm going to play you just the first little bit of our piece. I'll show you, it's called Two Horses. And what you do is, where's my bow? It's up there. If you can see me here, I'm going to place it with my foot. As you can see, it's continually looping. Isn't that great? That's me just playing in a big loop. If I play it again, hit it again, it goes from green to red. And I can make a harmony on top of that loop. So I'll do this. So now I've got like a harmony. And I can make this as well. I've got this whole thing, like an orchestra. I can sing, there's this thing. There's two horses running. There's two horses running across. The white one is ever coming. The black one is in my head. There's two horses running. Horses run across the sun. And then I could layer up like a big layer. So again, for violin, press with your foot. Suddenly I've got a whole orchestra underneath. If I hold that down, I can take the last loop out, so I can sing another verse. There's two trees are growing. There's two trees are growing in the field. The oak is ever knowing. The hazel can't be killed. There's two trees are growing. Two trees are growing in the field. Bring it back in again. you go. So that's the song called Two Horses. I didn't play it last night, but I think I'll play it on the next gig. Send me any questions that you have about looping, because I've done loads of it in my time, and I'd love to help you guys figure it out. You could order this for less than $100 on Toman, and it's really fun. Yeah, and thanks everyone who's sent in recordings of their singing for my virtual choir project, which was on Friday's episode. If you haven't done that and you really want to be part of it, go and watch Friday's episode, and you can download the score and the track. I need more male singers. We've got loads of women, but not many men. So please, men, come and sing with me, and lots of other women. And sure, yeah, more virtual gigs. Check out the gigs coming up on Dabara's website, and also, as I always say, check out my patreon.com/justingrounds page if you want to join up. I'm sending out new music this week to my patrons, film music and violin music this time. So, okay, see you tomorrow.